I've been involved with WaterAid since around 2016, and we all a few of us went to Mozambique in 2017 to highlight the problems that people in the developing countries have with the lack of clean water. And I saw firsthand the amazing work that WaterAid do in providing clean water, not just clean water, but the resources and all the things that people need in order to maintain and have clean water in these communities. And the year after I went there, there was a big drought in Mozambique, and then the year after that there was a flood. So climate change seems to affect the poorest countries the most, and so I guess this campaign is about highlighting the need for funds that the developing countries need. We're asking for a third of the UK's climate budget, which in total is about £14 billion. So we're asking for around £4 billion of that to go to the people in the front line, the people that you can see who are highlighted, sort of, I guess, represented in these sculptures. People like them who need the money the most in order to help with the climate change and the effects it has on their communities, which is huge.
Tell us just a little bit more about the sculptures themselves. I mean, we're looking at them now, and they are absolutely stunning, but they're already beginning, of course, to melt, which I suppose is partly the point.
Yes, I guess it kind of highlights the issues, the very real issues that these people have, and the fragility of water. They're created by a company called Icebox, and they represent the communities in Colombia, Mali, and India as well, and Burkina Faso. So they're beautiful sculptures, and it kind of reminds me of when I was in Mozambique and watching the women in these communities having to travel miles in order to get clean water, and the effects that has in communities. It's a kind of a feminist issue as well, if you think about it, because these women are taken out of the communities because they have to spend most of their time during the day walking miles and miles and miles to get clean water, and quite often that water isn't even clean, so their children get sick, and it has a huge knock-on effect. So I think that having access to clean water is a human rights issue as much as anything else. And so, you know, this is what WaterAid do. They sort of bring attention to the issues that these communities face and how important it is for people all over the world, especially in developing countries, to have access to clean water. So that's what the campaign is about. And also with COP26 coming up in Glasgow in 6 weeks' time in November, we want to draw attention to this very important issue.
Yeah. The meeting in Glasgow becomes all important on this and a number of other issues related directly to climate change. But just specifically on clean water, can we put a figure on it? I mean, what part of the world, what percentage of the world does not have access to? Well, you know, I mean, you and I grew up in a part of the world where water exists in abundance. You know, it's something a problem we've never had to deal with.
Yeah, in Scotland we have too much water, if anything, but I think about 10% of the world face very real issues with lack of clean water, and so that's a huge amount of people all over the world. So it's something that it won't go away, and especially now with climate change having a massive effect all over the world, with droughts and with floods and with natural disasters that are happening. I mean, our own country in Europe has seen the effects of climate change, and in North America as well. So I think it's taken these massive sort of natural disasters to come to the fore in order for us to sit up and take notice. Well, I think we've already kind of gone past the point where climate change is, you know, there is a huge effect on the world from climate change, but we really have to do something about it now. We don't have any more time to waste, and having access to clean water is part of that issue.
It does feel, Dougray, that this has been a problem that we have been discussing, you know, as a nation, as the Western Hemisphere, for decades now. I mean, I remember writing an essay when I was back at school about the lack of clean water and the problems that led to with river blindness. I mean, what hope is there if COP26 doesn't get a handle on this, that we can ever get a handle on the problem?
I think we have to appreciate the work that the government has done and the amount of money that they have pledged for climate problems, issues that we have, which is £14 billion, and we're asking for £4 billion of that to go towards the people who are really affected by it firsthand. But we just have to keep on campaigning. You can never give up. You have to keep going forward, you know, and if it takes, you know, moments like this to highlight the issues of climate change, these wonderful ice sculptures to show the fragility of water, and to, you know, to keep on going on trips with people like WaterAid to bring attention to the issues that these people have. It's tragic, you know, and I've been there. I've seen the effects of people who have no access to clean water, and I've seen how having access to clean water can make a massive difference to people's lives. It's like, you know, the difference between having a colour television and black and white television. Everything is just transformed, and it is extraordinary to see what, you know, raising money can do for these communities. So if people want to contribute, they can, and get involved with WaterAid's campaign.
Well, we wish you, and indeed WaterAid, very well with the campaign. Those statues down on the South Bank just next to City Hall, if you want to go and see it. Dougray Scott, lovely to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Pleasure. Thank you very much.